This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, it is my honor and privilege to be able to share with you information that empowers you rather than taking that power away and being dependent on a system that just wants to look at giving something to mask symptoms. You can actually be empowered to look at underlying causes and take what is needed in order to address those underlying causes so that those symptoms either diminish or no longer exist. How does that sound? Well, for me, that was something that was kind of a pipe dream. I thought, okay, there's something I'm missing. There's something I'm missing. There's got to be something better than this and better than being pushed off to pain management. And that pain management had to do with my spine. So today we are going to be talking about spinal stenosis and all that comes with it, and how there is actually something that you yourself can do. And our one and only Dr. Joel Wallach is going to be sharing what that is. So if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them. They took the time and cared enough about you to share this program with you. If there is no one to thank, we do have a call team that is standing by at 855-949-3377. This call team is for those who have never spoken to anybody about anything that is mentioned on this program. They were not referred to this program by anybody specific, nor have they tried the products that are talked about on this program. Now, this program is being sponsored by Daily with Doc. You're welcome to go to Daily with Doc, sign up for our email list where you will get notifications of when our show is live and also how to access our recordings. You'll also be able to see the Good Foods, Bad Foods list that has been put together by Dr. Joel Wallach based on his decades of experience as a pathologist and looking at things that were causing issues within the body of those who actually were affected by these poor food choices. So we really encourage you to take a good look at that Good Foods, Bad Foods list because it really does make a difference. Now, without further ado, I am honored to be able to present and share with you my mentor, the man who I heard on the radio about 8 years ago now. It was just over 8 years ago that actually offered a glimpse of hope for me. I knew there was something different. I knew I was missing something. I knew that just being pushed off to pain management was not the answer. And he had answers that I thought, okay, I'll try one more thing. And I am so glad that I did because that one more thing gave me my life back. So Dr. Joel Wallach, you've had this incredible life story that has turned into a journey, that has turned into a crusade where you have empowered people to take control of their own health and help others do the same. Now, with a Bachelor of Science in agriculture, yep, and agriculture, and dealing with plants and soil, and then veterinary medicine, where you worked your way through veterinary school or in the pathology lab, which then, because of the paper that you wrote, your very first paper in your early 20s, got you invited to be part of amazing Save the White Rhino expedition, saving them from extinction, which was very successful. And that just led to so many different things, including working in the Yerkes Primate Center, where you found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, not only found the first case of non-human cystic fibrosis, which was said to be a genetic disease, you proved that it was not genetic. You found the underlying cause, and you were fired when you presented this information because it was against a narrative. And there are so many narratives, Dr. Wallach, out there that you knew that what you were onto was correct to the point of suing the FDA 8 times and winning with the help of your attorney, Jonathan Emord. You went on to teach nutrition at a naturopathic medicine college and then became a naturopathic physician. So you have all of these credentials that I think really shouts out that you know a little bit about what you're talking about. And the fact that I myself have benefited so greatly, and many, many others that I've been able to share your message with, it just is, I think it's criminal to keep it to myself. So that's why we've got Daily with Doc, and I have a whole amazing crew of co-hosts who feel the same way, plus many of the guests that we have. So I just want to do a shout out and welcome to those who are live with us in our Zoom. Thank you for being here with us and just be a sponge, take notes. But he talks fast, so there's good thing that there's the recordings. I also want to do a shout out to our YouTube audience, our Rumble audience, our Amazon Music audience, our Spotify audience, our Patreon, the Brighteon, all these different places that we're now streaming, including LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. It's just fantastic, Dr. Wallach, that we're able to get this message out to so many places. And all we have to do is one show that reaches millions. I think that's kind of what you wanted to do, isn't it? You
Yeah,
want to
that's
reach
correct.
the
I
mass.
can't thank you and your team enough for getting this message out there, because one person can't do it all. And so we have so many, literally thousands of stories every month, okay, because we're affecting the entire world in a positive way. And we can't thank you and your team enough for making sure everything's going in the right direction. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, I can't thank my team enough either, because trying to do it all on my own was a little bit stressful. So I can understand when you just were getting started trying to get this message out and trying to do it on your own, you had to get others to help you on this. So, and it continues. So we can continue to share the message. But today, Dr. Wallach, let's talk about spinal stenosis. I know from experience, spinal stenosis is like the narrowing of that canal that goes down through the spine that is causing pressure on the spinal cord and cause so many different issues, pain, immobility. What causes that and what can we do, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, well, when you have the things going on with spinal stenosis, this is a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. It's osteoporosis of the vertebrae. It's nutritional deficiencies of the disc between the vertebrae. And so the canal from the skull down to the tailbone that the spinal cord goes through and all the spinal nerves come off at the various places are really about 10% of the internal volume that they should be. They've lost 90% because when you have osteoporosis, the measurement, outside measurements and inside measurements of the bones get bigger, but it's not normal. It's actually abnormal tissue closing up the tunnels, which the nerves and spinal cord go through, and that's what causes the symptoms. And you can have symptoms in your shoulders and your arms. You can have symptoms in your digestive tract, your lungs, your heart, your liver, things like the intestines, the kidneys. Oh, that's a big one. Kidneys, where the arteries and the nerves, okay, come from the spinal column to the kidneys, and the kidneys can't function properly. Well, the kidneys have to do with blood pressure. They have to do with getting rid of bad stuff in the urine, urinating out bad stuff into the environment so you don't have to have the bad stuff in you. So people really don't understand the appreciation of the kidneys, okay, when it comes to saving you, okay, and making your life better. When it comes to spondylitis, it can be in the neck only. It can be in the spinal cord, in the shoulder, in the thoracic area, in the chest area. It could be in your lumbar area, in your lower back, or it can be in all those places. So it just depends on a lot of things. How much of what you're eating, how often you're eating the right stuff, how often you're eating the bad stuff. And so this is why we came out with the flip chart. The flip chart is, I don't know, 75 pages, something like that. And the title, the title of the flip chart is 90 for Life Crusade to Save Humanity in the World. Well, basically, we talk about these things that medical doctors, they knew they could identify the problem, but they didn't know what was causing the problem. They thought it was a genetic thing, an age thing. It never came to their mind that it was a combination of nutritional deficiencies because they don't get taught nutrition in those areas. And It's one of those, which I say, one of those endless processes where everything will gradually get worse if you're not dealing with the cause. Okay. And of course, in the beginning, people, oh, I love my doctor. I can't wait to give him some kind of gift because I just couldn't smile. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything because of the pain. And he gave me this new product that's out. And in 6 hours, all my pain that I'd had for years went away. And suddenly now I can do more. I'm not perfect, but 50% better is better than nothing. And the pain, being pain-free, that was worth it. And so this is where the whole idea of dealing with the pain issues really got the medical system going. Okay, our main goal here is to, as quickly as possible, eliminate pain. The patient will be happy and keep coming back.
Well, that's why I got sent off to pain management, because they couldn't think of anything else that would work, Doc. And I appreciated them for trying. I really did. There was several that tried. Oh, I know exactly what to do. And we would give it a good shot, and for months. And for many people, the pain medications that they're prescribing, you cannot take because of severe reactions. And that was me. All of these things that they were trying were making me deathly sick, including, I blacked out once and woke up 3 days later because of the reaction I had from the medications. So when I heard that there was the possibility of nutrition being the underlying cause, I'm like, well, I eat good, Dr. Wallach. I wasn't junk food eater. I had my own garden. I was very, well, I wanted to be as natural as possible. And pharmaceuticals and chemicals were just not part of that. So whenever I heard your message and taking nutrition that's plant derived, I'm like, okay, this is something I'm open to try. Even though there's a few things, I mean, especially the liquids, there has to be a preservative to keep it from molding, right? Keep it from separating. But all the goodness that was in there, I'm like, okay, this is so worth it. So I gave it a shot, and I'm so glad that I did, Doc.
Yeah, you're one of the stories, in the flip chart. Okay, so has a great picture before and after of you lost what, 125 pounds kind of thing?
No, Dr. Wallach, I've only lost 100 pounds, but I was 120 pounds overweight. So my journey on that weight is not over, but I do have to say, I know some thin people that are not healthy. So even having that 20 pounds that I think is too much, at least I'm healthy. And, this may just be where God says my body's the best at.
Yeah, and you have to appreciate what's the difference between now and the Garden of Eden thousands of years ago. Well, thousands of years ago, humans were using wood and coal as fuel, putting the wood ashes and coal ashes into their food as a spice because it tasted good. They're getting the minerals that way. And then they put them in the garden as a fertilizer for their own backyard garden. And again, they're getting minerals. And when you burned the wood and the coal, and you took the wood ashes out of the stove and the fireplace and threw them in the garden. But they weren't exactly the same, place after place after place, farm after farm after farm, because nutritional minerals are not farmed by plants. Plants can make vitamins, but they can't make minerals. And plants only need 3 minerals, and human beings need 60. And so you can be eating a pretty good meal, and you're growing everything yourself, but the plants only have maybe 4 or 5 or 6 minerals in them, so you're missing 54.
Yeah, you're missing quite a few.
Yeah, and so that's where I figured out, well, we're giving all these minerals to our animals, and they don't have these diseases, including all these birth defects like cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy and sudden death syndrome, SIDS, and more. But those are the three that I got rid of just by putting nutrients into various diets for people. And I'm the one in my team eliminated cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and SIDS, sudden death syndrome. And you think about that. They were all just simple nutritional deficiency diseases. And after hundreds of years of having them, really causing terrible discomfort and everything in the human populations all over the world. When we went to electricity, no more wood ashes, no more wood ashes, no more coal ashes, and our source of our nutritional minerals went away after thousands of years. And so that's why suddenly now hospitals became factories. Prior to that, medical doctors were mostly just herbalists. Okay, and they'd tell you about bone broth and stuff like that. And they would go from little community to little community. They'd give a lecture at the church, and then they'd go to people's houses and have dinner with them and talk about what herb to use for this, that, and the other. That went on for thousands of years. And suddenly now, when all our source of our minerals went away, and they had these drugs now because of the pharmaceutical industry, they could relieve pain. Suddenly now, there's lines lining up for the hospitals. Get those drugs.
Well, there's so many different poor health conditions that were popping up. I know you had linked, what was it, over 600 different symptoms that have been directly associated with nutritional deficiencies. Over 600.
And 600 symptoms and diseases, yeah.
Yeah, and many of those are said to be genetic, Dr. Wallach.
None.
So if it's a simple nutritional deficiency, how can it be genetic?
Yeah, well, when the doctors didn't know, they never wanted to say, I don't know. So doctors said, oh, it's a genetic thing. It's your fault. You know, your family passed that on to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, it's one of those things where the whole idea, one of my favorites is, of course, the metabolic
syndrome, metabolic syndrome.
Yeah, the metabolic syndrome. And in 1945, it was diagnosed and said to be genetic, 1945. And I figured out what caused it just a couple of years ago. And essentially, you don't hear about metabolic syndrome much anymore, but it's a
Well,
certain
actually, I apologize for stopping you there now, Dr. Wallach. Now, metabolic syndrome is bigger than ever because they have not heard your message. So they're going to hear it. And that's actually your next book that we're working on is about the metabolic syndrome. It's going to be a fairly short read, but very impactful. So I'm glad that you had the drive to put that together.
It's going to be about the size of a cell in your head, which is about the brain and the spinal cord and the cranial nerves. And this one, okay, metabolic syndrome was put together and diagnosed in 1945 by a bunch of doctors right after the Second World War. Of course, everybody was suffering from nutritional deficiencies because the farms were shutting down. They're sending the farmers out to go fight the war and all that kind of stuff. And so these nutritional deficiencies caught up with us in 1945, and the whole idea of the metabolic syndrome, okay, it has a core picture, okay, abdominal obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney disease, liver disease, and many more, but those are the main ones. And they said, this is the syndrome. You got all these things going on here, and you got this gene, and you have to do some surgeries here. We got to give you these drugs that relieve pain and inflammation. to the fact that all of these things, including abdominal obesity, okay, and the diabetes and high blood pressure and heart issues and stomach issues and kidney issues and liver issues are all nutritional deficiencies. So as soon as we started treating all these folks, okay, with a metabolic syndrome, I mean, we're getting rid of these things. One of my favorites is a gal, this is on page 27 of the flip chart, okay? She had Parkinson's disease, okay, which is, as you know, said to be one of those terrible genetic things. And Parkinson's disease, no. Parkinson's disease is one of those things where her name is Madeline O, and she was going to her doctor, specialist in Parkinson's disease, 2 or 3 times a year for 11 years, getting worse. And he's telling her, okay, the end is coming. You're getting worse, you know, our make you feel good approach isn't working much anymore. So, you know, kind of get rid of all your things that you want to get rid of, talk to your family. You know, we're getting close. You might have 6 months or a year left. And we got her on our program. And in 2.5 months, she was cured. And the doctor said, this can't be right. So come back tomorrow. We'll do another examination. It was perfect. She was perfect. And on page 27 of the flip chart, on the right-hand half of that page, okay, she tells her story. Okay. And
Yes.
her salient message is highlighted in yellow. And then on the left-hand side of the page, there's a mixture of patient and doctor letters. Okay, because even yet today, doctors can't believe that the metabolic syndrome is something that can be prevented, reversed, that Parkinson's disease is not a genetic thing or an age thing, but it doubled Parkinson's disease for many dozens of years, hundreds of years. Parkinson's disease occurred at the rate of 60,000 new cases each year in America. 60,000 new cases each year in America. This last year was 90,000, went up 50% because doctors had shut off the foods that contained the good stuff in it and just gave pain relievers.
Yeah, it does seem to be quite a shame, Dr. Wallach, that's for sure. And that's why our message needs to be heard even more so. So folks, if you're watching us on the replay or out on any of the different media platforms and you're able to share, please share. Please share. You have people within your circle that this can benefit, that they've never heard the message of hope that Dr. Wallach has brought to us today and every week, as we are bringing Daily with Doc to you. Starting next week, it will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'm super excited to bring Dr. Wallach and some of the other doctors that have found the value in his message that they have been able to implement within their own practices and helping their clients even more not be dependent on pharmaceuticals, but actually looking at the nutrition side that is needed to address underlying causes. So Dr. Wall, get back to spinal stenosis, if you would, please. Because we have a young man, he's 37 years old, he's 6'3", 175 pounds. So he's tall and thin and way too young to be going through the spinal stenosis that he is experiencing. And he's got C7 with a bulging disc between 6 and 7. He has severe nerve pain, which I can relate to. But Dr. Wallach, what would you recommend for somebody who has symptoms that we've been talking about that have to do with the spinal stenosis, which is a medical term, which is basically the narrowing of the canal along the spinal cord that's squeezing the spinal cord and the nerves? What would you recommend as being a nutritional solution for that?
Okay, well, Let's see, he weighs 173 pounds.
175 pounds at 6'3".
Okay, 6'3". Okay, so he's get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then at 175 pounds, I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. Then I want him to have 9 a day of our glucogel capsules. This takes the place of the old bone broth. Okay, the glucogel capsules, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. I take 3 twice a day. I only weigh 142. Okay, and that's going to help him regrow the disc in between the vertebrae, also the cartilage in his knees and hips and shoulders, because it's not only happening in his vertebrae, it's happening all over the place. Okay, and let's see here. Then also our vitamin D3. I want him to have 3 a day, 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunch, 1 at dinner time of our vitamin D3. Okay, and that's going to help him absorb the minerals properly and so forth. Then I also want him to, instead of drinking soft drinks, even the diet ones got to go because they're carbonated. I want him to, for energy, I want him to use which is an energy drink we made for our athletes. Okay, and I like the powder. Okay, so because it doesn't have the carbonation in it. Okay, and then let's see here. I think for pain relief in the area that he's got the stenosis, any place else he's got pain, whether it's his neck or his knees or whatever, and then the area of stenosis is our CM cream. Go ahead and put, a couple of teaspoons on that area, right on the spot and around it, and so forth. And you can do that. You'll get relief of pain for about 3 to 5 hours, depending on how deep and how what should I say, how big the pain zone is. But it's okay to use 2-3 times a day. And I like people to use it when they wake up in the morning, in the middle of the day, sometime at the peak at which they're feeling problems, and then maybe a half hour before bedtime. That way they get to sleep without having restless sleep because of so much pain. Okay, so a minimum of 3 times a day. You could do it 5 times a day. It doesn't have anything bad in it. There's nothing bad in the CM cream. So also, let me throw one more thing in there to help the brain and the spinal cord and the spinal nerves and the cranial nerves, because this doesn't happen in just one little location. One little location, C7 can be the worst place, but it's happening all over, right? And so he also needs the I-26, which rebuilds the white matter of the brain and spinal cord. Okay, and that will definitely help with brain and spinal cord function.
How about the MSM Ultra, Dr. Wallach?
Yeah, well, I use it too. If you come and look at my kitchen table, I have the MSM. I have the MSM Ultra. I take 3 of those twice a day. I take a lot of stuff. I can say I only weigh 142 pounds. I probably take enough for a 400-pound man. Okay.
800 pounds, Dr. Wallach.
Man.
I counted.
Okay. Okay. So that's more than jelly roll.
Yes, it is actually. I think he's only about 4, so, or between 3 and 4. So yeah. Well, Dr. Wallach, one thing that I want to add that I was able to do is because essential oils have some amazing properties in helping to relieve pain as well. And I would add just a couple drops of that trauma essential oil to the CM cream. And when I say a couple drops, I'm thinking 4 max to a 2-ounce container, maybe 5 if you're a tough guy. Okay, but for those of us that are fair, it's some pretty powerful stuff. So folks, I'm hoping that you understand that there's a lot that you yourself can do to help yourself when it comes to all of these different medical conditions. And Dr. Wallach, we had mentioned briefly about things not being genetic. And one of the books that really gave me hope when it came to my health and the things that were going on is your book, Epigenetics, which is the death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. Because many of those things that I had been diagnosed with, and I actually didn't hear about metabolic syndrome until 1996, 95 or 96, is when I heard for the first time, metabolic syndrome. And many of the things that they had told me that I had going on with me were genetic, and I was just going to have to live with it. But that book gave me hope and thinking, okay, maybe I don't have to live with those things. That if I follow Dr. Wallach's recommendations, that I can find my way out of this downhill spiral of poor health. And it worked. So I encourage everybody to go to drjwallach.com and get the book Epigenetics. That's also where you can find the flip chart and all of his other 24 different publications, books that he has written over his lifetime. You can get them at drjwallach.com. Now, the reason why I really promote, his books is because he does not get paid for the sales of the product that he's recommending. He is the founder of the company Longevity. He has handed that over to his son and daughter-in-law, who now run the company. And he did that because he did not want to be accused of only promoting products because he makes a dime off of them or makes a buck off of them. He has turned that over to them, and he actually is supported by his book sales. And that's the valuable information within those books. We're truly, it's saving lives. And I can attest to that because I'm one of them. So thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, for all that you've done and your continued dedication to humanity.
Well, thank you for that. And of course, you have jumped in with both feet and you're participating because we have a new book coming out by the end of June. Is that correct? By the end of June or the end of May?
End of May.
End of May, just a month away from now. This new book should be out. Okay. And it's called The Metabolic Syndrome.
Metabolic Syndrome. I'm thinking we need to have some type of catchy title afterwards. Still working on that.
Okay.
So yes, that will be available by the end of May. And Dr. Wallach, one more thing that I want to mention that I think is truly a testament to your dedication of getting this information out to people is you actually paid millions of dollars out of your own pocket to sue the FDA. That wasn't something that Jonathan Emore did pro bono. That you sold your farm, your mother sold her farm to help fund that push to get the nutrients into things like baby formula, prenatal vitamins, to help end some and the folic acid. Yeah, I mean,
to get rid of cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and Sediment syndrome. By getting those nutrients into baby formulas, we eliminated those terrible 3 diseases.
Yeah.
In human babies.
And it was something so simple. So folks, health is simple. It may not be easy because of what we're programmed to do by media or family tradition, but it's actually simple. And we invite you to feel the difference in what it is that nutrition can do within the body, because our products are not meant to treat, diagnose, cure any diseases, but it's that synergistic blend of the nutrients that have been proven time and time again. You can go to pubmed.gov, look up specific nutrients and find that they are truly linked to when the deficiency is there, to poor health conditions. So Dr. Wallach put together this amazing team that formulated these products that synergistically work together in a form that's absorbable, because there are studies where they take over-the-counter multivitamins, you're only getting between 8 and 26% absorption. But then when they did the same testing on the products and formulas that Dr. Wallach's team put together, you're getting over 90% absorption. And that's powerful. You're not just peeing it out, right, Doc?
That's right. Yeah, the whole idea, just like, people, they don't just wash their car once a week. They make sure they're looking at that, they're looking at all the different gauges, okay, on the screen in front of their steering wheel, okay, and they're seeing all the different pressures and temperatures and all that kind of stuff. And so they check the oil, and they check the antifreeze, and they check the brake fluid, and they check the fluid for the transmission. They check the gasoline, use high quality gasoline, and so forth. We don't have a flip chart in front of us so that as you're walking down the street, you can see what's going on with all of your nutrients and all the various functions of your body. But
right. So basically, our meters are pain, dizziness, discomfort. Maybe discomfort is a better word for it, whether it be anywhere throughout the body. So folks, don't ignore those signs, those warning lights, like Dr. Wallach was mentioning about having all the different gauges. Don't ignore those. Get back with the person that shared this program with you and thank them. Tell them what you learned most about what you have heard so far. Dr. Wallach, we have comments that are coming in. We've got Joe, who's out there, who has said he thinks that your products are actually working. He's been on them for just a little bit now and is feeling much, much better. We have a question that is coming in from Anne here in the Zoom with us, and she had just received a bottle of the Ultimate Niacin. Now, when you say Ultimate Niacin, folks, we're not talking about single individual nutrient, okay? Dr. Wallach's team has formulated with these different nutrients that actually work together to support the body even better. Now, with the niacin, she says, I am taking it 1 per day. Seems to be going really well. At 130 pounds, she's wondering if she should up it to 2 per day.
Well, if she wants to, she can try. It won't be dangerous, but she might get hot flashes and that kind of stuff. When you take high doses of niacin, you get hot flashes. Okay, so if you're getting some benefit and you're not getting hot flashes, that's a good place to be with niacin. I only take 1 of those a day, and I take them in the morning as opposed to taking them in the evening nutrients, because I don't want to risk getting up in the middle of the night with hot flashes.
No, well, and it's maybe I'm an exception, maybe I shouldn't, but I take 1 and I get a little bit of that flush, but I take 2 and I don't feel it at all. So may just be me. But Dr. Wallach, share with us a little bit what the Ultimate Niacin is designed to help with, in addition to the 90 essential nutrients. Now, you have to have the foundation, folks. That foundation is what feeds the body. And then the secret sauce, like the Ultimate Niacin, would be for somebody who, wants to include blood flow?
Well, wants to make proper blood flow, but also niacin's involved in transmission of nerve impulses. It has to do with the brain and the spinal cord talking to each other. Okay, and so niacin deficiency is something that everybody should be being concerned about, and have their kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews and brothers and sisters and spouses, everybody should be having at least one of those niacin pluses. Okay. And again, I would take them in the morning so that you're not risking getting a flush at night or something like that. And you say, I'm not going to take it anymore. I got it in the middle of the night with this hot flash. Okay. And so you want to take it in the morning. And so that's when I take mine. And it's one of those things where, you know, it does its job. It's one of the 90 essential nutrients. It's one of the B vitamins, niacin, and it has a function. And so it's an essential nutrient. It's not something, well, you can do without. You have to have it.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And I want to point out, Joe out on YouTube, it says that my spine is healing gradually. Pain is way down. I was in a head-on car crash and my mid-spine was always not right and had herniated discs. And that I want to bring this up because where we talk about the nutritional deficiencies and all of the different symptoms that nutritional deficiencies can cause, the nutrition can also be a solution to injury and supporting the body so that it can, in fact, overcome the injuries that were caused by things like car accidents. I myself, 5 herniated discs from a car accident. It stunk. It hurt really bad. And the nutrition helped with that as well.
Well, the nutrition is required to repair the disc and the vertebrae and the spinal cord and so forth. And so, you know, doctors say, oh, don't waste your money on those vitamins, minerals, just eat well, you get everything you need. That's absolutely positively not true. You cannot get everything you need because nutritional minerals, for instance, plants only need 3, we need 60. And nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. Does gold and silver occur uniformly all over the world? No. People spent a lot of their time and their life and their money searching, digging holes in mountains and digging holes in valleys, looking for those veins of gold and silver. Some people spent their lifetime looking and never found any. Some people got lucky and they hit it, you know, I've been looking for 10 years and finally found it. Okay. And so it's one of those things where when you're taking these nutrients, you're saving a lot of time because you're taking what you know you need, and there are certain things you take to increase the healing efficiency and healing rate.
And if you didn't know it before this show, you know it now, folks. You need 90 essential nutrients daily. That's 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and at least 2 essential fatty acids daily in order to feed the body so that the body cannot survive each and every day, because sometimes that's what people feel like, I'm just surviving. But thrive. You have it within you. When the body is given the right combination of nutrients, you have the ability to thrive. Even if you have previous nutritional deficiency caused symptoms, even if you've been through accidents. Now, we cannot guarantee 100% healing. That's totally up to the good Lord. Nutrition, what you're putting in your diet, which I want to go back to the good foods, bad foods list on Daily with Doc. You can find that in the menu. And because of what Dr. Wallach is holding up, epigenetics, the death of the genetic, theory of transmission, there's a lot that we ourselves can do. So Doc's also holding up Let's Play Doctor, which goes through so many different poor health conditions, Dr. Wallach, and gives recommendations on what to do. And that was actually written kind of before longevity came about.
That's correct.
They made it simple in putting these formulas together that included the recommendations that Dr. Wallach made in the book, and also Dead Doctors Don't Lie, with over 400,000 copies distributed throughout the world.
The CD, how many million for the CD?
The greatest lecturer, I was going there, the
Okay.
greatest medical health lecture has over 40 million copies that have been purchased and distributed throughout. And that number, I think, Dr. Wallach, is actually a little bit outdated because the last edition on that book was just a few years ago. So we have a goal to make sure people hear the message in giving them power, empowering you, empowering others. So please help us spread that message. Now, Dr. Wallach, we do have a couple hands up now. Let's first go to Jane. So Jane, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Here I am. I went to the heart doctor yesterday, and my blood pressure was quite amazing. It was actually too low for me, but it was 116/70. But
that's beautiful.
Exactly. And I'm taking the Ultimate Daily Classic. I'm taking 6 of those a day. The problem is when I take, it's constant when I do I think it's an EKG test. My heart is irregular. So she's immediately, again, I'm not taking it, recommended Eliquis, a blood thinner. I wonder what your thoughts are about taking a blood thinner.
Well, how much do you weigh?
109.
Okay. You need to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. That one's got to go. And then let's see here. You weigh 109, you said?
Yeah, I'm taking a lot of your other things too, but I'm taking specifically the Ultimate Daily Classic for
Ultimate
the
Daily Classic. Yeah, Ultimate Daily Classic is for high blood pressure and obstructed arteries, from plaque in the arteries. And so, you could take 2 or 3 twice a day, okay, of the Ultimate Daily Classic. I weigh 142, and I take 3 twice a day, the Ultimate Daily Classic. Okay, and these are the sort of things you can do and get things under control. And you get rid of the bad foods. So you're coming at these problems from 2 different directions. And you need the things that make things work, and you need to avoid the stuff that interferes with proper function. Okay? And so by doing those 2 things, you will see benefit. But people would be so grateful to have a blood pressure of 116/70. They're 140 over 100 and something, and they're right on that margin of really in danger of having heart attacks and all that kind of stuff. And so, no, you're in good shape. Just keep doing what you're doing, but stay away from the bad stuff. Don't ever think, well, I can cheat a little bit here. Don't do that.
So you don't think I need the blood thinner?
Well,
if I can just point out something that she mentioned, and the reason why they're putting her on the blood thinner is because of an irregular heartbeat.
okay, well, irregular heartbeat could be due to a lot of things. Okay, could be due to osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, okay, which controls the rate and rhythm of the heart. Okay, and so that's a possibility. Do you have any ringing in your ears? Any tinnitus?
I still have it, not major, but yes, it's never stopped.
Yeah, you have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing those nerves. That's what's making your heart beat irregularly. And so you need to take our vitamin D3, take 3 of those a day, take 1 with each meal, or vitamin D3. Okay. And then also you need to take our I-26. Go ahead and take 2 or 3 of those chewables twice a day. I-26 is going to help rebuild the myelin, the white matter of the brain and spinal cord, and the white matter, the covering of the nerves, including the ones that control the heart. And by taking all these nutrients for all these different systems, it's going to make your heart can beat regularly, and and not have tachycardia and all that kind of stuff. You'll know things are happening good when that tinnitus, when that ringing in the ears starts getting less and less and less and less. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jane. And you're looking vibrant, my dear. Thanks for being on with us today. Let's go over to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach, and we have Bill. Bill, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. I've been using the I-26 TMR collagen and the brain and body pack, and I've had for over a dozen years the essential tremors, familial tremors, and neurologist last week, and I took it for 4 days, Premodone, and it just didn't threw me for a loop. So I've stopped that. What else would you recommend? I-26, TMR, collagen, brain and body pack at the moment.
Yeah, and the I-26,
pounds.
yeah, the I-26 is really good for this kind of stuff. How much do you weigh?
142.
142? Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I'd go, you're about my weight, and so I would go with 3 of the chewables, okay? 2-3 times a day. Okay, that's going to help enormously.
How about Synaptive, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, that's a good one too, Synaptive. I take 2 of those twice a day.
And what's the purpose of the Synaptive, Doc?
That's so your brain cells can talk to each other. So your spinal cord cells can talk to each other. That's so your heart cells can talk to each other. Synapse is a space between 2 nerves. And if they don't have all the right stuff, they can't send the message from over the gap. And so Synaptive gives your body the raw materials it needs to be able to fill that gap.
And is that to break through the myelin barrier?
No, it doesn't have to break through the myelin barrier. It's absorbed.
Understood.
But the myelin, that's another story. Okay, you got 2 or 3 or 4 possibilities there. So the Synaptive is good. That's for one thing. That's for the nerves talking to each other. And then I-26 is for the white matter, the brain and spinal cord, actually, what should I say, surviving, being crushed by the skull, also providing shelter from outside forces, also carrying the message from one area of your brain and spinal cord to another area of your brain and spinal cord. So the I-26 was a real breakthrough. And it covered an area which for years people didn't quite know how to help the brain and spinal cord talk to its different zones. I mean, you have somebody who's 6 foot tall, and how do you get the brains and the upper spinal cord and the first part of the neck to your big nerves that split off from the spinal cord down in your pelvis? Okay. And so this is why we came up with that.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bill, for coming on and giving us that learning moment as well. We appreciate that. Let's go over to Coach AJ, Dr. Wallach. So, AJ, what questions are you bringing to the table today?
Hey, Dr. Wallach, how's it going?
Okay, sir. What's going on?
We have a gentleman named Darwin who is 6'1" and 240 pounds. And he says, Dr. Wallach, what is the best treatment for my diabetes or how can I truly get rid of it, Doc?
Okay, diabetes is a simple nutritional deficiency disease. You weigh 240 pounds. That's what he weighs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. At 240 pounds, I'd have him take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full of something twice a day. And with type 2 diabetes, I'd have him take 3 of the sweeties at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and 3 at dinner time. And don't just cold turkey stop taking your medication, but as the blood sugar begins to drop, you can slowly reduce prescription medication. And, we take people that are diagnosed with really serious type 2 diabetes for 25 years. And in 2 to 4 weeks, they're not a diabetic anymore because it's very simple nutritional deficiency disease. And you can wash your car 10 times a day. Is that going to fix a flat tire? No.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So just the 2 healthy brain and heart packs and 3 sweeties 3 times a day. And you think would be better in getting off the bad foods, of course.
That's right. And he's going to save a lot of money by getting off the bad foods. How tall is this guy?
6'1".
Okay, 6'1". Okay, so he's somewhere around 35 to 40 pounds overweight. Okay, and he's going to lose some weight there. Okay, he's going to lose some weight, and he should, be good to get down to like 210, 205, 210, something like that. Okay.
Thank you, Doc. Did you hear about that newest national treasure?
No, what?
It's you.
Oh, really?
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, AJ. And yes, Dr. Wallach, you definitely are a treasure.
Okay, well,
Let's-
that's actually what the government, in the museum.
Well, yeah. The original copy of this big bad boy right here, Diseases of Exotic Animals, Medical and Surgical Management. The original is in the Smithsonian Museum as a national treasure. And look, hey, there's your name, Doc.
Would you look at that?
That's 2 people. I think you're the only one that's still living. So
Yep.
That's fantastic. So we have a few more minutes, Doc. Can we take 2 more questions?
Okay, sure. Why not?
All right. So Kay here in the Zoom room, go ahead and yourself. What's your question for Dr. Wallach today?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Keely.
Hi, Keely.
And so I actually use my phone and this at the same time because I can copy off of my phone faster than I can my computer. I have 2 real serious situations. It's a husband and wife couple. The female is a type 1 diabetic. She was 55, 5'4", 125 pounds. And they told her that she was a type 1 diabetic at the age of 5 when she got her childhood vaccines. As a child, she said she used to steal sugar and eat the sugar to sustain her and steal the fruit juice from school. She does take 15 to 20 volumes of whatever her long synthetic insulin is. She got very, very sick, had endometriosis and had a hysterectomy, left with 1 ovary. And she got very sick after she took 2 of the Pfizer vaccines, and she hasn't been able to get control of her sugar since then.
Okay, let's stop there. You say she weighs 125 pounds?
Yes.
Okay, does she have she was diagnosed at age 5 with type 1 diabetes?
Correct.
Okay, well, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. I have her take 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, half a dose of everything twice a day. I want her to have, started out with 2 of our sweeties at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's 6 a day, the sweeties, okay? Do not stop her other medication for her diabetes, but as her blood sugar begins to go down a little bit, she can reduce her prescription medication a little bit. Don't just cold turkey off the whole thing. Just reduce it by a little bit based on the amount of the drop in sugar, okay? But she needs to be eating high quality food. And here again, it wouldn't hurt for her to have the I-26. She go ahead and have 2 or 3 of those chewables twice a day. Okay, that's going to help her white matter of her brain and spinal cord. Okay, so all that equipment works. And let's go there for that one. And, I see people who've been really brittle diabetics of all kinds. for 25 years, and in just 2 to 4 weeks, are not a diabetic anymore. But she will have to stay on the she have to stay on the what?
The sweeties?
Yeah, the sweeties. She have to stay on the sweeties forever, along with the 90 essential nutrients forever. Can't ever quit that.
Okay, the other side effect that she has is she has some depression, and they have her on like 3 different antidepressants, SSIs. And then they also have her on a sleep thing.
Okay, well, that's where the I-26 will help get rid of that.
All right, the other individual is her spouse, and he's 64, 5'9", 153 pounds. He actually was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So he has had chemo and a radiation. They told him he's in stage 2 of kidney disease. He also has a melanoma that was removed from his head and had a skin graft. And then he has something that's on pre-treatment on his face. He does have ringing in the ears. He does have knee pain, and total body pain is basically what he says. He is on, are you ready? 13 different medications and just 2 vitamins. It's a mess.
Sounds like it. Okay, again, get rid of all the bad stuff. This will help in the household since there's 2 people having to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. At 153 pounds, he needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose everything twice a day. Because of the kidney issues, needs 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 twice a day. Wouldn't hurt to take 3 times a day. Okay, and of course, need the vitamin D3. Take 3 of those twice a day. More vitamin D3. Okay, that's going to help rebuild the skull so that we stop that ringing in the ears. And okay, that'll cause problems. But when you have tinnitus, ringing in the ears, okay, that's the 8th cranial nerve being squeezed, okay, by the skull. When you have osteoporosis of the skull, the kidney issues, that's the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. 3 of those. Start out twice a day, okay, and the immune system, okay. Again, wouldn't hurt to take some extra vitamin, or excuse me, extra of the oh, let's see here. Let's go with the, what mineral do you like for your immune system?
Well, Dr. Wallach, for the immune system, the I-26 is great for the immune system. Says that helps to get the digestive flora within the digestive system right, so that you get that absorption, which then supports the immune system.
What about the one that doctors think is poisonous, but it's one of the most important minerals?
Well, there is a new report that says vitamin D3.
Yeah. Well, I said vitamin D3.
That's the one you're thinking?
Nope.
Salt.
No.
Selenium?
Well, salt. Selenium. There you go. Selenium. Selenium. 153 pounds needs to take about, I go ahead with 6 selenium a day. 2, 2, and 2. I take 3 twice a day. I went 142.
And that's the ultimate selenium, which
That's
is
correct,
not just selenium.
That's correct. It has all the cofactors necessary for it to work perfectly.
Okay, great. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Keely, for coming on with those great questions.
Bless you. I love you guys.
Bless you. So, all right, Dr. Wallach, we are off to the top of the hour. Do you have time for a couple more?
Let's go for one more.
Okay. Barbara has a client that has lymphedema. In general, for a 100-pound person, Dr. Wallach, what would you recommend for lymphedema?
Okay, 100-pound person. Get rid of all the bad stuff, which we've said many times here. Also need to take 1 healthy brain and heart pack. Take a half of those twice a day. And then I would also take the, let's see here, I would go with the ultimate, excuse me, ultimate daily classic tablets. Go ahead and take 3 of those. Start out with 3 twice a day. Okay, that's going to help circulation, even where there's blocked arteries, but it's going to make the kidneys happy. Okay, the kidneys are what get rid of excess fluid, poisons in the urine. Your kidneys, we have to make them happy. Also, the selenium will help the liver do its job. It does 50 different things, including support the immune system. Okay.
And the ultimate selenium is included in the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack, folks.
That's correct.
So, all right. And Dr. Wallach, in our Good Herbs line, there is a product called Lymphatic Support, which helps with that. And I have seen some great results in clients that have lymphedema using that product as well.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Awesome. So I think this is a really important one. We'll close this on Dr. Wallach. So Steve is 44 years old, 175 pounds. He has a damaged heart. Half of the heart, the left side of the heart, is not working due to scar tissue. Is there any way to remove the scar tissue and regain function?
Well, the left side of the heart is very important because that pumps out all the blood to the whole body, right?
Yeah.
And it weighs 144 pounds. Get rid of all the bad foods.
175. 175. He's 44 in age.
Okay, 175. Okay. And then want to get rid of all the bad foods. 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. Take a full dose of everything twice a day. And then we have the Procardia FX. Take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. Procardia FX. I take 3 of those twice a day also. Okay. Then also, I like the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Okay, because it gets blood flowing through blocked arteries, including the coronary arteries in the heart. Okay. And so the Ultimate Daily Classic, I'd go with 3 of those twice a day minimum. And after a week or 10 days, move it up to three times a day. Okay. And the heart has an enormous capacity to recover. Okay. It has an enormous capacity for work. And you have one little blood vessel, one little coronary artery in the heart blocked, and it'll shut the whole heart down. And so this is why we came up with actually the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. Folks, a lot of information shared in this program. I think it was a great day, Dr. Wallach, of going over and covering so many different poor health conditions that people are having to deal with, suffer with. And there are solutions.
Yes,
so
there are
Dr. Wallach,
solutions. And we've been doing this for 75 years, Rebecca. For 75 years. We have seen thousands. No, I take that back. We have seen tens of thousands of improvements or reversals and cures in humans of all ages. Now, that's not even including the animals that use these products also.
well, I'm going to bump that to like hundreds of thousands, because I know longevity in itself has more than 1 million clients, more than 1 million customers on a monthly basis. So lots of people, Dr. Wallach, have drank the Kool-Aid and don't want to give it up because they feel the results. And I'm one of them. So thank you, Doc, for being here with us. And I know we're a little over time. We appreciate you, all your knowledge. And if I could just get my co-hosts on with me, that would be greatly appreciated. Doc, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Save a place for me.
I'll save a place for you. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
All right, we got to let him get on to his next show, but I just want to do a super huge heartfelt thank you to my co-hosts, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be able to do this show. They help make sure that everything is rolling smoothly out on the different platforms here in the Zoom room, helping to answer questions on the different platforms, bringing them to me. So if I missed your question, I apologize. We only have an hour and we went over. So make sure that you send in your questions to questions@dailywithdoc.com, and we'll make sure that we get answers to your questions. Again, that's questions@dailywithdoc.com. Now, here on our we have a full, I think we have a full co-host team today. So we have Sherry, who's helping to let people in. She's also part of the tech side and making sure that the stream gets set up and runs smoothly. Thank you, Sherry. We have Phyllis. Phyllis has been one of the longest standing distributors within Youngevity, even prior to Youngevity, I believe. And making sure Dr. Wallach's message got on the radio, her and her husband, Andy. So we are very honored to have them as part of our crew as well. We have Albert from way down south in South America, making sure that people are able to get into the Zoom room and keeping an eye on those cameras. So folks, we just want to make sure that you realize that if your camera is on, whatever you do, is going to be seen. So please make sure that you are fully dressed. We would appreciate that. We have Marilyn, who, if you are in the Zoom with us live and you have that chat open, you will see, and then Phyllis does this as well, you will see what Dr. Wallach is recommending repeated in black and white so that you can take a screenshot or picture of what Dr. Wallach is recommending so that you can take it to your coach and say, hey, this is what Dr. Wallach recommended, either for me or someone that has issues like mine. This is what I need. So we welcome you to join us here live in the Zoom room at dailywithdoc.com, dailywithdoc.zoom.com on the days that we have our live show so that you can benefit from that chat as well. We have Ruth Ellen, who is our executive production manager, who helps keep us all organized and on task. So thank you so much, Ruth Ellen. She's also part of the tech crew and making sure that we get the streams going out and everything. I mentioned Albert. We have AJ, who is very instrumental in getting us on all these different platforms, including Apple TV, Roku TV, Fire TV. Just beyond what I ever dreamed. So thank you, AJ, for helping make this happen. And we have Coach Rod, who is out on the different platforms and encouraging people to just keep going and getting questions answered and helping with that as well. So thank you so much, Rod. You know, I couldn't do this without these people. These people are my chosen family. And folks, there are times where we may feel disconnected from our own family. They may not be on the same page with us. But if you know that there is something to nutrition and getting it in your body, and you felt the difference, and you want to be part of a family that then helps to support and encourage and helps you have that motivation to share, we invite you to be part of the Youngevity family. Get back with the person that shared this program with you. If you have nobody that you have spoken with and you're not part of the family or haven't even tried the products and you want to, give us a call at 855-949-3377 and we'll help you get connected. So you can use skills that you have to be part of this family and just together, we can heal the world. No, I can't say that word. We can make the world a better place because when our bodies are feeling great, our mind works better too. We're able to make good decisions. And before I forget, this Saturday, we have a special Zoom. Yes, AJ put his hand up and I'm like, I can't forget this. We have a special Zoom that we're going to be broadcasting live as I will be in Newark, New Jersey with AJ doing a presentation on nutrition and touching on the benefits of the business as well, but focusing on the power of nutrition and what it can do within the body. So make sure that you are tuning in. We're going to be using the same Zoom room, dailywithdoczoom.com. It will be available for you to join us. That is going to be at 3 to 6 Eastern time. So for those of you in the Pacific time zone, that's 12 to 3. Mountain is 1 to 4, Central 2 to 5, Eastern again 3 to 6, and we invite you to plug in and be part of that special Zoom that's going to be this Friday, May 4th. That is sponsored by AJ, one of our co-hosts. So I am super excited to be able to travel and support my team and help them in spreading this message. So folks, be part of it. Spread this message, share this video with somebody, especially as we are going through and hearing that there are things that you can do or someone you love can do to improve their health journey. U-turns are accepted, folks. We're not going to ever stop you from making a U-turn when it comes to your health. Have I forgotten anything, team? No? Okay, so reservations, are they required for New Jersey? AJ, if you're jumping on the Zoom, no, you do not have to have a reservation.
No reservations. Come as you are. Bring a friend. Especially
Absolutely.
you, Nancy.
Especially you, Nancy. Thank you, Nancy, for that question. Folks.
Wait. If you're coming on Zoom, make sure you're dressed and stay fully dressed, please.
Yes, we shouldn't have to say that, but you know, people don't realize that, yes, your camera is on. We see it all. So please have respect for yourself and keep it covered. Thank you for joining us here on Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and we look forward to hearing from you. Drop us, if you're out on the different platforms, drop us a little note. Let us know that you're there. And if you have questions at dailywithdoc.com. If you'd like more information about our opportunity with the Daily with Doc team, if you're not already talking to somebody, then please go to info or send us a message on info@dailywithdoc.com. Bye for now. Educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal Optimal Health, Dr. Joel Wallach.